Hey folks. Well, it's halftime of the Arsenal Newcastle game on Peacock, so I have added incentive to get this video done within 15 minutes or less, besides the fact of hating relatively long upload times for YouTube. So, anyway, these are four of the five British soldiers that came in the Tamiya kit or box that I picked up. These are actual Tamiya figures, circa 2014, I believe, from the box date or scale mates. One of them's missing because I finished him, and we'll talk about him in a moment. What I really like about these figures, and I had a little bit of a chat about them in terms of comparing their somewhat diminutive size to ICM figures, but that's okay. What I really like about them, a couple of things. One is that the helmets, hats, caps, etc., are separate from the heads, as you can see. It makes painting the faces and the heads a whole lot less of an issue, especially around the top and the foreheads and getting into the eyes, etc. So I really like that a lot. The quality of the sculpts is really good, and I heard that varies a bit from maybe older Tamiya figures were not anywhere near this quality, but these are good, very good. And that I think is brought out by the priming and zenithal priming, and hopefully my painting later on. Another thing I loved about these boxes is you get tons and tons of accessories. So I've assembled the figures, or most of them except for their helmets, but and I've put even snipped off a few of the helmets, the Lewis machine gun, a couple of the, or three of the Lee Enfields, and look, I've still got all of this gear left, more helmets, caps, backpacks, canteens. There's another Lee Enfield rifle. There's a couple more on this room. They basically give you more than twice as much equipment as you need to outfit a squad of five, which I really, really like. I guess that's maybe incentive to buy more figures. I don't know. Okay, enough about the stuff that's work in progress. Let's turn now to some stuff that's done. Okay, so here are our two British officers, of course. The one on the left is the one I just finished. This is the Tamiya, I'll call it, figure from 2014. As far as I know from scale mates, it is their mold, always sold under their label. This is the fella I finished a week or so ago, sold by Tamiya, but actually an original ICM figure. And according to Scalemates, it came out, or the Tamiya, it came out a year later, at least from Tamiya. Why they picked it up, I don't know, but they did. Good quality figure, a little bigger, but I talked about that before in terms of you can see the size comparison, not just in height, and it's probably not visible from this video. But if you look at all of the scaling, yes, even the weapons, they are a little bit smaller on this guy and this guy. They're perfectly and exquisitely proportioned, both of them. It's just a question of which one do you accept as 1/35th. Well, if you accept this guy, he's 5'4". If you accept this guy, he's 5'11". But actually this scale is smaller, because if you look at the proportions, he's diminutive. That's okay. So maybe he would be 1/38. Would that be right? Somewhere around there. I didn't do the math on it. All right. After I finished up this guy, I realized checking colors, and this is for the rest of his squad too. I don't have the official khaki colors that are supposed to be used, either Tamiya or Vallejo. That's being rectified, by the way. But I'm not doing him over. He's a little bit light. That was because I used ochre khaki as the base color, and it I couldn't get it shaded enough to the appropriate darker tone. So be it. I still like him. Happy with what I did, but he's done and he'll stay on the shelf. Let's focus on what I did differently here. Well, first of all, let's do a 360. I did put a little lanyard on. We'll talk about that in a second, from the WWI revolver. The base, the butt of it, back over around his neck. He isn't laden with as much gear as the other guy. Could have put more on. I just added the canteen. I decided to have glossy finish on the boots and the puttees. Are they puttees? Is there puttees? Puttees? Rather than having them all dull like with the other fellow. He's also got his walking stick, riding crop, whatever it is. Yeah, the quality of sculpt is quite good. Detailing, sharpness. So, what did I do the same? What did I do differently? For that, we need to turn to the paints. Okay, color call out. For the face and head, I used my go-to color shade for the base skin color, a Vallejo brown sand. And all I did in terms of contrasting that was lightening it up a bit with white, and achieving different mixtures and different tones. That was it. The eyes, the irises, would that be the irises? Yes, the irises, little dots of gray-blue. I like blue-eyed soldiers, not because I've got a bias for blue eyes, but they just pop a little bit more. And there's enough brown in these figures anyway. Mahogany was used for the mustache, for the hair, mustache, and his hair on his head, which you can see from on the back. And that was the face and the colors. Now, turning to the uniform. Like the other guy, I did use ochre khaki from AK. And I messed around with some light earth and some middle stone and some brownish green. And I was trying to achieve, but I was still ending up with something far too light. And I said, wait a second. What this guy needs is an oil wash. Got out the trusty 502 Abteilung, which also comes from, also from AK, the AK company. Burnt umber. And I applied that and then wiped a bit of it off, and I got the dark tones I wanted. Okay, for trim and accessories, the gray, which is actually a Vallejo gray, this shade of gray, is actually a gray-green, and I used it for the canteen and also for the lanyard. I just thought it would be a nice contrast. I did use yellow ochre for the chevrons on the sleeves, if they're indeed chevrons. Maybe they're not chevrons. The trim, the rank trim, they weren't the best sculpted, so it's pretty pale and they don't stand out. That shade of black, whatever that number is, 71.073, is really a wonderful gunmetal color. Use that on the WWI revolver, on the metal parts. This nice color of burnt red from Vallejo, I used as the base color for leather, boots, the holster, the belts, the Sam Brown, all of that stuff. And then we used bronze metallic from Pro Acryl for the buckles, and the insignia, like on, if I can get it close enough, probably not, there on that cap, and buttons, and on the epaulets, and various other spots. And a little bit, because I basically finished and sealed everything up with a flat clear, very, very, very matte finish. I did apply gloss finish to the boots to get the overall effect. And that was the color call out. And here he is again. And now I don't know if I'm going to follow this process for his squad mates, his enlisted men, or if I'll try, because I did find with the master box, yeah, something coming down the pike. Some more soldiers, but master box, which is the kit I got, had color callouts for Vallejo khaki, which I'd never bought before. That's coming. It's coming, as well as some Tamiya khaki, which is coming, and those were actually on the kit, this guy's kit. So there he is. Very, very happy with him, and I hope these 4 turn out as well. I think I'll probably do them the same way, just for consistency's sake, for this uniform, which is basically AK khaki ochre with a little bit of lightening and shading, but basically the thing that makes it that color is the burnt umber oil wash. That for the jacket, the trousers, the cap. Hey, thanks for watching, folks. Have a great day.